You know what, Moxie man, you know, we've been talking about this issue about young people and depression and suicide. I mean, what are we doing?
And you know, it's heavy around the holidays, you know, especially in the population of the young adults I work with.
Yeah.
It's hard times, you know what I mean? So, something, you know, the country is facing, but we got to make a change, you know.
Yeah. And we can do it here.
Oh, we do it every night.
This is Moxie.
520 to 720.
52.3.
All day.
I'm your DJ.
Man, boy.
Hotwax. Well, I'll tell you what, Moxie man, there's been some things happening in the community. There's been some good things going on, though, right?
A lot of good stuff.
Okay, give us some. Yeah, give me some updates. Give me some Moxie updates.
Okay, so I don't know if you all are aware out there in the airwaves, but we had September 17th, the Inland Empire Mayflower March.
Okay.
That at Fiesta Village. Great turnout.
Fathers,
families, all that good stuff turned
Very
out. Gave away some food, diapers, wipes, all those good things. Wonderful day.
Okay.
A lot of comp tickets and stuff like that.
Wow, did Moxie man make it through?
You know, I was in the studio.
Oh, you were in the studio, okay.
But my other half was there. Food donations, so
Okay.
I was there in spirit.
Wow.
But I heard it went well. Gave out a lot of food, diapers, wipes, formula, all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So what else is happening?
So we got some good things going on in the community. There was an award ceremony, and I don't know if you're familiar with Community Partner Actionship, but they won a Spirit Award for social entrepreneurship.
Wow, that's Miss Patricia Nichols.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Patricia. Everybody know Miss Patricia. Hey, give her a round of applause. Won an award. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, so that's some good stuff to be proud about. We also have the IBAT 2017 International Summit on Violence Against Abuse and Trauma.
Wow.
That will be taking place next year.
IBAT?
Yes.
Man, I heard that's a heavy organization, man.
Yeah, they're doing some great things out there as well. So,
Okay.
You know, Radio World, be familiar with that. I'm pretty sure some more information will come on that as the year goes, but that'll be something to watch out for in 2017.
2017, IBAT. That's the International Summit on Abuse, Violence, and Trauma.
Yes, sir.
Man,
That'll take place in San Diego.
San Diego. You know, I think, you know, I wonder where they're going to stay up at. Where they staying? Where they going to hold that event at?
The Hyatt.
Whoa.
The Hyatt.
Man, I think we may have to go on the back door. Ain't the real, but it's the Hyatt. I think they're going to be in La Jolla.
I
IBAT.
think so.
Man, they probably on the internet. They can probably look at IBAT on the internet.
Oh yeah, you can look that up. They got a website and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Community Action Partnership, IBAT.
Actionship.
Okay.
And then, you know, there'll be some more giveaways and stuff on the radio as you guys stick around.
Yeah, we like giveaways.
But another organization that you guys gotta watch out for, Street Positive.
Whoa.
You know about Street Positive?
Man, I tell you what, I'm looking for that dude. Okay,
You find him.
I'm telling you. You looking for him too? I'm telling you, man. Man, I think Homeboy got me last year for about $25. Yeah, man. He wouldn't do it to me? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was yeah, that's probably what happened now, you know? I'll be flipping. You know, like we flipping houses, I'll be flipping people. You see what I'm saying?
But yeah, you know, so Street Positive,
Yeah.
that gentleman that you're looking for,
Okay.
they're also looking forward to giving him an award. So,
Cool.
You know, you guys get out there and vote. Go to streetpositive.com. You get more information.
Okay.
The Danger Man Hero Award.
Well, Danger Man. Man, he's big.
Yeah, so you're looking for him. You might want to watch out. It says it's dangerous. So,
He's danger.
yeah,
That's why they call him Danger Man.
might be on your own.
That's kind of bento right there. Yeah, danger is bento.
Danger, yeah.
Oh, man.
So,
Okay.
that organization is doing some good things. So
Wow.
watch out for them as well.
Man. Okay, good. Well, Moxie, man, thank you for them updates, man. I'll tell you, you've been out there on the streets carrying it and taking care of business, representing. Got some more news coming up. I know we're going to get a chance to talk about some of the information with some flyers, some other organizations that are doing some great things in the community.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay.
There's an event going on out in Fontana, so
Yeah.
we got a lot of resources, so I'll be going over some of the resources that'll be in the house.
Okay, you can be broadcasting, letting people know what's going on?
Broadcast live, right?
Right, live, man. I tell you what, you know, I'm glad we out here, you know, and give a shout out to the mayor of Fontana, Miss Aquanetta Warren.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she let us come in here, even if we don't pay our bills. So if we can get out here before she comes,
Then she got to catch it.
she got to catch us right there. She can be after that. And so we just tell them that somebody else was here.
Yeah.
Okay. But you know what?
And we can't be saying that on the air.
Oh, that's true. Because they probably can hear us, huh? You know.
Our show might be canceled next year.
That's right. You know, it's like the people that, you know, they don't want nobody to find them, but they show up on the news. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of crazy, huh? And so we just here. I'm your host, DJ Moxley, MOXY, 52.3, Hotwax. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to get a chance to get into some real discussion here. We got a guest, Miss Rathina. How you doing? Welcome to the show. I'm going to pass this mic over here. Moxley, man, you all done for now? Excellent. We're going to pass this over to you. And Ms. Rathina, thank you for coming out of your race car. We know that you are a race car driver. Is that true?
A little bit true.
Okay, so tell me what kind of racing. You mean like you go like down to like the go-kart shops? I mean, like, is that what kind of racing you be doing?
I actually am kind of scared of go-karts.
Okay.
I stay away from those.
Oh.
I like to be inside of a car. And
You mean like a real car?
A real car.
What? I don't know too many women race car drivers. How long you been doing that?
There's not many of us. I've been doing it for about 6 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
Dangerous,
actually
ain't it?
compete in drifting.
Now, what is drifting? That's like smoking or something like that? You all smoking?
A lot of smoke involved, yes, but out of your tires. Yeah, we actually have a cool little mantra: smoke tires, not drugs. That's
I
our
like
thing.
that.
Yeah, so we actually, it looks wild from the outside. It's completely controlled in the cockpit of the car, but you're in a car going sideways at, 80 plus miles per hour.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. You know what? You need to be on the Mento show. Okay, that's kind of crazy right there. That's why you're here. Wow, so you're going sideways 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So what's got to be your frame of mind when you're dealing with drifting and, operating a vehicle like that?
So for everyone, it's different. For me, it's all a mental game.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get down the basics and you know what you're doing, it's all in your mind.
Wow.
So when I'm going in and getting ready to compete or getting ready to go drifting, I actually repeat to myself, no mind.
No mind. Mm.
It's all in your hands, your feet, and just feeling the car.
Okay. I feel you.
Do you?
Yeah, I get that. I like that drifting, feeling you. You know what? I think life is life.
Life is life.
I just came up with that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of deep, huh? Yeah, life is life. I'm just thinking, But you know what? I just think I'm going to stay with Moxie 52.3. Hotwax.
It's up there.
It's up there.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm down with that. Well, hey, let's talk on a more serious note. Because we're talking about this issue of teenagers and depression. And parents, I don't know if they know or not, but suicide is the second leading cause of death amongst 10 to 24-year-olds, I believe. That's young. So you know a little something about this issue of depression. You've had some experiences.
Right. Well, luckily I'm happy to be here.
Excellent. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah, so,
Wow.
I would say the issue of parent involvement in teens is so important. A lot of people look at my life with drifting and say, oh, how cool, it's so awesome, you're doing something fun. And yeah, I'm doing something fun, I'm doing something I love. But kind of the hard thing that I've frequently talked about is when I go to the track and I'm getting ready to compete, I look around and I don't see any family there.
Wow.
That's been a very real reality, just something hard that I've had to deal with over the years, especially when people I'm competing with have their families out there. It's a very family-oriented sport, and I'm there, and my parents are in my life, but they choose to not support something that I am so passionate about.
Okay, wait a minute now. you know, this is kind of interesting because this can kind of mess with your mental, right?
Right.
So you mean that you are passionate about something, but your parents don't support what you're passionate about.
Right.
How does that work with you?
I think I have accepted it. I've gotten to the point where I've accepted it. Do I wish it were different? Absolutely. I think, you know, even though I'm an adult, there's always a child inside of me that wants the love and support and encouragement of my parents.
Yeah.
I don't know any kid that doesn't want that. That's just so important. And it's not that my parents don't want to support me, they just want to support me in the things that they want me to do. And that comes back to the issue of, well, who am I? What am I going to do with my life? Am I going to be someone that I'm not just so that I get the acceptance of my parents? Or am I going to do what's true to myself and then forego that? So I think a lot of kids, a lot of teenagers are faced with that question. You know, what do I do? How do I get the love and acceptance of my parents? And how do I stay true to myself? Especially when you're becoming an adult and you're trying to form your own identity. Those years are just so important. And if you're lucky, you get to be yourself and you get the love and support of your parents. I just unfortunately don't think that's the norm.
Wow. Well, you know, I think, you know, we got to look at I think we think that's real talk. But, you know, one of the things we represent today is the importance of these young ladies, right? And families.
With Hotwax.
Yeah, Monty Man and Hotwax. Because, you know, we down. You know what? I think we stream it live. You want to show how we represent? Because we think Daughters Lives Matter right here.
Well, we're on the radio, so they can't see us.
Oh, man, see, that's why I'm on a mental network. Oh, man, they can't see me here? Oh, man. You know what? I have a friend that they can't nobody else see them. You know what I'm saying? What about you? You have a friend that nobody can see?
I took a picture of you guys with your shirts on. I'll put it on my Facebook.
You did?
Yeah.
You gonna post it up?
Yeah, I'll
They'll be
post
gonna
it
see
up.
us at that boy thing. Boy thing, cause yeah, damn, that's pretty good right there. That's why you Moxie Man. That's why you Moxie Man. Well, you know, I'll tell you what, now let's talk about, you know, when you talk about your parents not supporting what you want to do, and they want you to do what they want you to do, right?
Right.
What is it that they wanted you to do?
I come from a very stereotypically Indian family where I'm a first-generation American, just to preface this.
Now, Indian now, because, you know, like Native American, or you Eastern Indian?
East Indian, from Asia.
Oh, Asia.
So, my parents were born and raised in India, moved here in the late 70s, and then, so I'm first-generation American.
Wow.
My mom is a physician, my dad is a physician, all of my aunts and uncles work in the healthcare industry in some way, shape, or form. I grew up in a town not far from where the studio is, Loma Linda, California, which is a medical town. I went to a private school. I had a very, I would say, blessed life in a lot of ways. And everything in my life was pointing me towards a career in medicine. I never really second guessed what I was going to do. I just assumed, like, hey, I'll be a doctor and continue the family legacy. And while I was in college, I was pre-med for quite some time, and they fully anticipated me, becoming a doctor.
Wow.
So, race car driver doesn't really.
You really
fit
stepped out.
that.
I don't see too many Indians racing cars and stuff, you know?
No, I know. That's why I think when I first started getting into cars at the age of 16, I think my parents were just looking at it like a phase. And
Oh,
here
it's
we
something
are.
you're just going through, right?
Yeah, over a decade later, it's not so much a phase anymore.
Wow. So when you talk about, okay, your parents didn't really accept what you were doing, you broke out of the norm, how did that affect you mentally? Tell me what you went through. I had a little bit of information on your bio, a little bit of details, and I was really surprised that, a person such as yourself that kind of, how they say, put up that front, looking good on the outside, but hurting on the inside.
Right.
Can you relate to that?
Oh, I'm so good at that. Probably better than drifting. I'm better at pretending I'm happy.
Wow, pretending you happy.
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to a matter of survival, I think, at least for myself. It's, do you want to be faced with the question of, oh, what's wrong and what's going on? And half the time you don't want to talk about it because talking about it isn't going to fix your reality. At least that's what it was for me. I was very closed off growing up, as a teenager. I didn't talk about things. And primarily a lot of that was because of the stigma of depression, especially in Indian culture, even anyone from outside of this country, that's not something, people don't go to counseling, you don't get help, you don't talk about these things. It's very much, you bring shame to the family if you do that. And so I remember I had asked my mom and dad if I could go to counseling. I reached out and asked them, and probably at the age of 14, they told me no.
14 years old and you were asking for help.
Yeah, because my parents had just gotten divorced, and I don't know if I had totally processed it at the time, but I knew I wasn't happy. I just didn't feel right. I was sad. I was crying a lot. I didn't have this, self-awareness to know what was going through my mind, but I knew that I was sad. So I did have the ability to recognize I wanted to be happy, but I didn't know how to go about that. And, to be told no, that was rough. And I think, transitioning into my college years, I think that's when I really started struggling with depression and my self-identity and, which route do I want to go in life? Do I want to make my parents happy? Do I want to make myself happy? And what does that look like? And so I hit a pretty tough wall, I would say, at the age of 21, 22. And
that's the age you should be really kind of just getting out there, starting to enjoy life, right?
Right. And so, we talk about depression and we tend to put everyone in one, it's just black and white. If someone's depressed, if they're suicidal, they're going to be moping around and, acting a certain way, but that isn't the case. I was out and about every single day. I was working. I was a 4.0 student. I was going to school, and I was so miserable. And half of that was because, one, I wasn't doing what I really was wanting to do. I was pre-med in college at this time. I was completely miserable. And two, my parents were trying to rip me away from my passion, my desire, and what I consider my calling in life. And, it comes down to, you think you're not good enough. And if you're faced with that notion that I'm not good enough, I'm doing the best I can, I can't get better grades, I can't do any more, and I'm still not good enough. How do you really sit with yourself? You can't. And so it got to a point where I felt stuck and trapped in my own body. And that is the worst feeling, because if you're trapped in a room, you can try to figure out a way out. What is the only way out of your own body? And I think a lot of people answer that question with suicide.
Wow, that's real talk.
And, at that point, I got to a point where I was, praying to God every single night, please don't let me wake up tomorrow. And I think that's, probably when I was really facing some serious amounts of depression and suicidal tendencies and thoughts. And a lot of people on the outside wouldn't have known. There's no way. I was drifting at this time. That's probably when I was full force into it and, starting to make some, good changes for myself. But on the inside, I just wanted out.
Wow. I'll tell you what, we're going to get a chance, Moxie Man, to go out and talk to the studio audience. They may have some questions. We want them to call in because we want to get a chance to come back and talk about this issue of being trapped inside. And then when you start talking about not wanting to wake up in the morning, so what do you think about us just circulating the mic out in the audience, and then that way maybe some people can have some questions for our guests here. You want to do that for us? Excellent.
So this is Moxie Man on 52.3 FM radio. So we want to go to the airways. We got any callers calling in?